house, so everybody be aware if you do not want to be on the recording to turn your picture off. Lilaupaya Lisa Koester is a trained Reiki Master in the Usui and Kali-Ki lineages. Trained as a yoga meditation teacher and hands-on healer, she has over 35 years experience as a healer and seer. She has taught many people how to use Reiki as a tool for daily living. Today, she will speak about how healing works and how you can heal yourself and others using Reiki as a primary healing modality. She will address the 3 levels of Reiki and offer a healing intention for the group on this call. Give Lilaupaya a good, warm Golden Gate Breakfast Club welcome.
Hi, thank you, Tony. Thank you, Craig, for having me. My name is Lilaupaya. Many of you know me as Lisa. I do recognize a few faces on here. I have over 25 years of experience in the tourism and hospitality business in San Francisco and the Bay Area. So that is how I earn my living, but this is what I do for joy. And I really appreciate all the business reports of what's happening in the airports. My clients used to be Airbnb and Uber. So I really appreciate all of that. I manage catering for 11 different Panera cafes throughout the Bay Area. Our Panera cafe in San Francisco will not be reopening, not only as a result of the COVID, but because business practices for restaurants anyway in San Francisco are so difficult and so complicated. And the business climate in San Francisco is such that it's very difficult to make a profit when you're a restaurant. So that said, I'll be focusing my catering business in Marin, Napa, Sonoma, and Sacramento. So I'm happy to reconnect with some of my San Francisco, kind of local hospitality people. Christine, your hair looks nice, really long. I don't think I've ever seen it that long in the 20 years you've been in my orbit. So Reiki, I want to talk a little bit about Reiki and my name, Lilaupaya, because I know it's a little bit of a challenge, especially for those of you who have known me for many years. My name, Lilaupaya, was given to me by my Reiki master. It's not an Indian name, which a lot of people in my world go to India and get these spiritual names. Mine was actually given to me by my Reiki master here in California, and it means she who dances between the 2 worlds. And it was given to me because I have so successfully managed to create a spiritual wellness program for myself and others while navigating the ever complex world of business. And, I mean, you're all business people. I can see that here. We all have our loves and our passion. I can hear some of you have golf and some of you have, children and families. And we need, to survive in the world. It's required that we earn a living in a way to do that. And especially here in the Bay Area, that can be a great challenge. It can be a greater challenge for us here in the Bay Area than in much of the country. And I think all of you who are realtors and real estate agents can relate to that. So with that said, I'm going to tell you what Reiki is, a little bit about the background, and then we're actually going to do a participatory exercise. This just came to me this morning in my meditation, where we are each going to learn how to heal ourselves, because right now, especially, it's important to learn how to calm our nervous system, because when the nervous system is inflamed, that is when the immune system is lowered. So I think everyone right now is possibly interested in boosting our immune system in whatever way we can. So if you are one of those people who are at home drinking excessively, eating bad foods, I think this could be a little bit helpful. And if you're stressed and worried about your business and your finances especially, I mean, I know I am. Obviously, my business has dropped, quite considerably. So we want to take care of ourselves right now is the most important thing. So just a really brief show of hands, has anyone heard of Reiki, or does anyone know what it is or have any experience? Looks like Peter, Reginald, Tom, Christine. Okay, so it looks like quite a few. This will be the quickest Reiki class in the history of the world. Reiki, the word Reiki, Reiki, is actually a Japanese word. So it's termed Reiki because the story goes that in the early 1930s, 1920s, a Japanese monk went to the top of the highest peak mountain of Japan and meditated there for 40 days. And during his time of solitude, he received an initiation, or, you know, a download of this healing practice. And throughout the years, he brought this as actually a medical practice. In Japan, it was really considered to be, you know, a medical practice. Just like we have hospitals here today in the West, he created a hospital medical center. And he only trained Japanese people. He intended to keep it within Japan only. But as the years went by, one of his students thought that she needed to bring it to the West. And she did that by way of Hawaii, where she later lived. And it just sort of progressed from there, and it kind of caught on in the West. And so now in the West, we kind of, I like to use the term woo-woo, you know, we kind of have like woo-wooed it up. And, you know, we've incorporated crystals and essential oils, and it's very popular in India. So my lineage has been a merging of yoga and Reiki. And I won't get into the yoga portion right now. It's deep and it's long. But just know that this is a very specific lineage. It's a new lineage that has recently come about because of this great time of healing and awakening that's taking place on the planet right now. So I know this might be hard to hear, but each of us present right now, every one of us on this call, has chosen to be here during this time on the planet, because this is a very powerful time right now of great awakening, and every one of us are being called forth to awaken. And waking up is, you know, it's not always pretty, and it's not, you know, all flowers and unicorns and bells and whistles. It can be painful. You know, think of a birth. You come out of the birth canal, it's bloody, it's painful, it's not pleasant. It's much more comfortable to stay in the womb of the mother and not hear, not see, not taste, not breathe. But when it's time to come out, it's going to be bloody hell. So I always say, coming in and going out. You know, when we're born and when we die are the two most awful, you know, times. And what we do with space in between is up to us. So this period of awakening is a time for healers to be called forth. And we're being called forth to heal ourselves. We cannot necessarily control what is taking place around us, but we can control how we respond. Will we respond with love and service? Will we heal ourselves? And by healing ourselves, we walk into a room and we create peace and calm just by our very presence without even speaking a word. People pick up on that vibratory field that we all give off. So when you're angry or you're frustrated or you're stressed, you walk into your room or your family, that they pick up on that and conflict occurs. So we want to calm ourselves. Now, a little bit about how the Reiki energy works. This is a kind of a common question in my classes. Nobody really knows how it works. We just know that it does. I have seen and witnessed Reiki heal in my clients, anything from physical diseases and disorders, from high blood pressure, hypertension, heart disease, cancer. I've seen and witnessed women conceive and get pregnant, carry babies to full term, healthy, after years of trying to conceive. I've seen the calmness and joy in people just as they come into the class. You know, usually the classes are over a weekend, and leave in a totally different space. So it's really a miracle. Miracles can occur. They do every day. I've heard a few of you mention you're seeing miracles in your life every day just by what you're waking up to. So it's a matter of looking within ourselves and seeing what we can glean, what is the lesson, the gold nugget, the gift, if you will, during dark times and also during times of joy. So a typical Reiki session, if you will, if you were just going to a Reiki healer to get a session, you might lie on a massage table. You could be sitting, and the healer would place their hands on various parts of your body. Oh, usually we like to make it nice. So we play soft music. We might have some flowers or aromatherapy, but really none of those things are required. That's just to, you know, kind of make it nice for the client, the same way that you would if you were receiving a massage. Most of us place our hands directly on the body, but if that is not acceptable, the energy can also work you know, by hovering above the body. And the Reiki comes through the hands of the healer. It is not the healer's energy. It's not being transferred to you. There's no exchange of energy between the healer and the receiver. The healer is a conduit for divine life force energy. Each of us have divine life force energy running throughout our system daily. And this is the energy that's being used. The other little kind of, I call it dirty secret, the other little dirty secret in the world of healing that most people won't tell you is the receiver actually heals themselves. So you're doing the work. I'm just there. I'm not directing the energy. So if you come to me and you say, I had a sore foot, or somebody said they had a sore arm, I don't necessarily have to place my hand on that person's arm or a foot. I could place my hand anywhere on that person's body, and the energy will direct itself to go where it's needed. You might say, I have a sore foot because your foot hurts. However, the real issue might be within an organ of the body or someplace else that we don't know about. I'm not a doctor. I don't have any medical training. I don't diagnose. I don't, you know, that's not my field. So the body has an innate intelligence within itself that can heal itself when the appropriate systems are in place. So one of my students likes to say it's free, it's low calorie, it's low carb, it's gluten-free, and the energy is free to everyone. So just know that this is a free system of healing, which is probably why most people haven't heard about it. You can't charge money for Reiki like you can for pharmaceutical drugs. So I think I have about 15 minutes left. Is that correct? Not sure. Okay. Yes. So again, what I would like to do is teach each of you the hand placements, and so that you can learn to work with this on your own body. The most important thing, if you're kind of not listening to me, if there's only one thing that I want you to take away from this, is that Reiki works with intention. Okay? Intention. Reiki works through intention. It's through setting our intentions daily. So many of you may have goals. I want to close 4 escrows this month. I want to open 3 office buildings. That's a goal. A goal is different from an intention. So tonight is the full supermoon. It's the last supermoon of the year. So this is a really great time to set your intentions and clear out whatever it is that needs to be cleared out that no longer serves you. And you might not know what that is intellectually, but if you take some moments to close your eyes and be quiet and listen to the voice within, you might hear what needs to be released. So I'm going to show you hand placements, and I would like everyone to follow along with me. You're going to take your hands and your fingers go together because we want to contain the energy. And again, if you were here and we were doing a workshop, I would attune you in your hands, and I would place symbols in your hands and attune you with the energy. But this will work because I believe this is what the universe is having for us to do right now, is long distance like this. So don't worry too much about that. Now, the first thing you're going to do is kind of take your hands like this and place them at the crown of your head. This will work if you're laying in bed really nicely when you first wake up in the morning and you want to close your eyes and take several deep breaths. Follow along and close your eyes. And what you want to do is visualize energy coming through the crown of your head now, through the palms of your hands, down through your head, your neck, and all the way down your spine, through your body to the base of the spine. And I want you to visualize that white light that's coming from up above, from the stars, from the universe above, all the way down. Take it all the way down into the center of the earth and let that energy connect there onto the earth. Take a few deep breaths. Release on the exhale. Visualize that line of energy running down the center of the body. Connect it, ground it to the center of the earth. Okay, the next position is going to focus on the third eye level right here. This is the fifth chakra. And in order to access that, we just place our hands gently over our eyes. Don't cover the nose. You want to be able to breathe. And breathe into that space in the center of the head, visualizing the color purple. A few deep breaths. And as you inhale, visualize that purple light now expanding throughout the brain, and take it out about 2 to 6 inches outside the body, and let it just completely envelop the outer edges of the body. Great. Now we also take the hands here and right at the throat, visualizing blue. This is what we call the throat chakra. This is where we speak our truth. If you have a thyroid condition, if you have a sore throat, if you get frequent pain or anything around the neck area, just ask what needs to be heard and spoken. What do you need to speak? Who are you not speaking to? Are you not speaking up for yourself? Are you not being truthful with yourself and to others? It could be a blockage there. Perhaps you need to set some boundaries for yourself. Perhaps there's something unspoken that needs to be said to someone. Perhaps you've been too afraid to speak up about something, or perhaps you were shy or didn't want to be judged by your words. Just release any energy in that area. Okay, and now we're going to move down to the heart chakra, which is right between like the breastbone, so just either above the breasts for women or maybe at the nipple line for men. And the hands will be touching the points here. And just hovering above your heart and just breathe into that heart space and see what comes up. And now visualize the color green as you breathe into that heart space. Exhale and release any stuck energy in the heart area. Visualize green. Release any emotional pain, fear, anxiety, worry, grief, trauma. And take a look at any past trauma from your childhood. Was there someone who mistreated you? Or perhaps a love that you never received? And see now if you can visualize that love that you want out into the world and you can give it to others. It's free. It's free to give away love. So just release that love from your heart to the hearts of everyone on this call. Breathe in the color green and exhale. And now taking the hands just down to the solar plexus area, that kind of right below where the rib cage meets in the center. And visualize the color yellow. Breathe into the solar plexus. This is your place of power. This is where many of us will tend to operate from, especially men. This is your place of power, success, ego. Just release all of that and soften. Take a few deep breaths, breathing in yellow. Exhale, and the exhales, make them very long. See if you can make your exhales twice as long as the inhale. And now take your hands in the same position, just right below the belly button, on that kind of soft place of the belly, kind of Buddha belly. And visualize the color orange. This will kind of be where the uterus organs are for females, just right below the belly. And breathe deeply. This is your place of pleasure, of joy. This is a place we move from in the world. Joy, pleasure, passion, sexuality, how we use that sexuality to interact with others. And for women, this is the place of childbirth, reproductive organs. Just send any healing that needs to be healed into that area right below the belly button. And breathe orange. Okay, and when you feel complete there, now you're going to take your hands and lower them. We're all off camera here, so nobody's going to see you. Just get right in there into your crotch. For women, it's right below the perineum. For men, right by the testicles. You can also access this for women. It's nice on the two outer hip points, where the two hips connect. You can connect it that way. But since nobody is looking, just get right on in there and place your hands right between your legs and breathe in red and heal all that energy. For men, you want to heal all those old wounds, all that programming. We're deprogramming now all the patriarchal effort that's been placed upon men. This is a great time for men to receive healing on the planet. For women as well, all that sexual energy. You may increase your sexual energy. You may have fun tonight with your partner. We just want to release anything there. This is our place of grounding. This is where we connect to the planet. These are our most basic needs, and we can store a lot of fear and anxiety in this. This is around money making, around how we earn our living, how we pay our bills, our rent, all of our basic needs. Storing up energy right in this first chakra at the base of the spine. Just release all of that down into the center of the planet now to be recycled. Okay, now as you're done and continue breathing on there, take a few deep breaths, aligning and connecting. Visualize a white light connecting and aligning all of those points we just placed our hands on. Your hands may feel hot, they may feel warm. If they do, it's okay. That means the energy is working throughout the body. And just breathe light into each one of those points on the body. Great. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes, bring your hands together in front of your heart, prayer position, just up to your head, and just offer a little prayer of gratitude, saying thank you. Thank you to the powers within. Thank you for this healing. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this life. Thank you for this opportunity to connect on Zoom. And so it is. So I'd like to open it up for anyone who wants to speak to see how that was, or any comments or questions.
I'm not sure where to start with that. That was amazing.
Yeah. I'd like to ask, how many times a day should we do that? It's amazing how wonderful, calm, and energized I feel. That was wonderful.
Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah. Hey, often, as many times as needed. For me personally, I do it in bed in the morning. I'm laying flat, and I do it at night. You can fall asleep with it, and the energy will continue to work as you sleep. So yeah, I say anytime you're stressed or having anxiety, or you feel you need it, you can't overdo it. The other thing I forgot to mention, which is basic Reiki premise, Reiki does no harm. It does not interfere with anything. So if you're going to a medical doctor, you're having a surgery, go ahead and do it. It does not interfere with any medications or anything like that. Craig?
What does this have to do with the full moon? You mentioned that earlier.
Oh, well, the full moon is just a really powerful time right now for intentions.
Okay.
And I'm a moon follower. So I like to get out and watch the moon rise. I have it on, you can get it on your app and see what time. So we're in the beginning of a full moon cycle. So during a full moon cycle is a great time to release anything that you want to let go of. And a new moon cycle is a time to manifest. Anybody else have anything come up?
If anyone has a question, just unmute yourself.
I have a question. What is the significance of the different colors throughout the exercise?
Yeah, good question. Again, I'm trying to speed you guys along. So the system is related to the chakra system, meridian points within the body. And there are hundreds, thousands of meridian points in the body. But the 7 main chakras, you can Google chakra system and look it up. They correspond and correlate to different colors. So I just have you visualize those colors I wasn't going to do that, actually. I thought, no, I don't want to confuse them. But then I was guided to go ahead and just put that in there. Even if you forgot them later, they are just the vibratory colors of each section of the body. And so the lower 3 chakras in the system are our basic survival skills, power, sex, money. And then as we progress in our healing and our enlightenment, if you will, our awakening, we move up through the higher chakras: self-actualization, higher self, self-realization, service. We want to be in service to others, love, giving. And it's the human body, the human life, if you will. When we're younger, we tend to move primarily from our lower 3 chakras. And as we age and get older, we become a little more attuned to the kind of higher realms, and the energy will become lighter as we kind of move up through those areas. So I hope that kind of answers the question about the colors.
Thank you.
Yeah, hi,
Bill?
Bill. I have to unmute.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good morning, Lisa. Bill Buchanan. I just wanted to thank you for introducing us to Reiki. I've never heard of it before, but it sure makes a lot of sense in terms of what I know about Eastern, philosophies and practices. But I just wanted to ask you, I just read a book called The Nature Fix. As you might see from my background, I'm quite an outdoors guy.
The nature of what?
Nature Fix, F-I-X.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Are you familiar with it?
No, but I love the name.
Okay, it's by a woman reporter who's an excellent writer, and she has confirmed what I have known for decades, and that is that when you get out into wild places like I do often, there is an interaction between the natural world and the person who's out there that's been medically confirmed. And this is the first book I have read that's confirmed my theory ever since I was a kid, that when you get out there, you get into a different state. There's an interaction. Is there any part of Reiki that recognizes that interaction between the natural world and the individual?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, it was discovered by a monk who sat on a mountain for 40 days and 40 nights. Most definitely. It's just energy, right? Reiki is energy. So when you're out in nature, you are really connected to the planet, and there is an energy of Mother Earth. If you can put your feet bare on the ground, even that's why people love the beach so much. People are usually barefoot. You're really connecting, and we are part of the earth. We're not separate. And I think that's a conversation, that's been starting to happen as of late, as people really start to evolve and awaken in this part of the evolution. We are understanding that we are not separate from the planet. We have to take care of her. She is us. We are her. We inhale and she exhales. We exhale, she inhales, right? Oxygen, carbon dioxide, the trees, the plants, they're all there. They're all there to support us. We're there to support each other. So that is Reiki. That is the essence of Reiki. We are humans, but we're just one species on this great mother. So thank you for taking care of the mother, and thank you for getting out and connecting with her regularly.
Well, thank you. I think we have
Thank you.
time for one more question. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'll ask one more. I hate to be a downer, but it's a professional question. I'm reading that half of the restaurants in the city of San Francisco are going to survive this. Is that your feeling? Or is that a little strong or not strong enough? How do you think, how long is it going to take to get back to normal?
Yeah, I have no idea. I've read that too. I wouldn't be at all surprised. I wouldn't be at all surprised. It was hard enough to make a profit at a restaurant when times were good. I mean, we've all seen the closing of some of these 3-4-star restaurants, very famous chefs. I've read about them in the Chronicle say, anyone who wants to open a restaurant in San Francisco now, I have one word of advice, and that's don't do it.
Right.
I did Reiki in my restaurant. I went to the restaurant that I work for, and I smudged it. I did all the woo-woo stuff. I put up Reiki, to try and keep it. But really, you know, the situation in San Francisco between, you know, the unions and the homeless situation on the streets, people, you know, we've lost major conventions there again before COVID. So yeah, I don't know. It's heartbreaking, you know. I love the city and I'm from there, but time will tell.
Thank you.
All right.
I have one question.
Yes,
Yeah, Ayuna.
Hi. It's very similar to the Mongolian and Tibetan prostration, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, there is a Tibetan lineage of Reiki that is very well known. Many practitioners practice. I happen to be, just because of my teacher, I happen to be trained in the Usui lineage, but the Tibetan lineage is also very powerful. I'm not familiar with the prostration, but
yeah, we do this.
yeah,
this.
yeah.
Then the only difference is we have to like touch our forehead to the ground. So feel the connection, the earth and sky.
Yes.
And we are part of the earth.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that. Thank you.
Very interesting.
Lisa, we're at the end of our time here, so I'd just like to say thank you again.
Thank you.
And making it a great meeting today. I'll just, wrapping up, just want to make a quick statement. Jeff Davidson is going to be joining us next week, and he's going to be talking about the Camino de Santiago. So we'll get some more information out to the members regarding that. And again, let's give Lisa a big hand and thank her for coming. That was fantastic.
Keep practicing. Practice tonight. Keep doing it, and let me know how it goes. Okay.
Hey, real quick too. Now you offer the service as well, right? So if our members want to
well, I did, but it's an in-person thing. But now I'm thinking, well, maybe we could teach online. But if anyone is interested in learning Reiki or getting a session once we get back to normal, I'll send Craig my personal email, and you can contact me there. Oh, and I have a blog. So if you want to follow my Reiki blog, I'll shoot all that information out to Craig as well.
That'd be great. If you wouldn't mind, then I can distribute that to our members.
Okay, great. Yeah, and when we get back to person, maybe I'll come down there and just do a group healing for everybody, or I don't know, figure something out.
We might need 2 visits from you.
Yeah, I eat a lot. Huh? Well, keep doing it. Remember, self-care, self-care.
Okay.
Bye.
Well, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.